What is going on, everyone? Today I have a very fun Wi-Fi battle against my opponent Dylan, who I found using a Discord server I am a part of. If you follow Just Weavile, you'll know exactly who he is, and I will link that Discord server in the description below. He's rocking with a very threatening team: the Gholdengo, Iron Valiant, Dragapult, Rotom Wash, which is definitely defensive, Great Tusk, and King Gambit. Like, this team is OU as hell. I mean, granted, so is mine. Mine is the Baxcalibur, but we're gonna make do. I'm very nervous about Iron Valiant and Gholdengo. My team is very weak to Gholdengo. Baxcalibur, Glimmora, Chien-Pao, Iron Valiant can't take a Make It Rain. Also, it has coverage with Shadow Ball, so that's a little scary. I'm gonna want to lead with my Glimmora just so I can get entry hazards up. Stealth Rocks, Toxic Spikes, they're all gonna be big, so that's gonna be very huge in this match. Hopefully I can pull that off. Also, typically people lead with Great Tusk, so I do carry Energy Ball on my Glimmora for that very reason. Also, I apologize if I sound sick, it's because I am. Let's start the battle off. So as you see, we're starting with the freaking old lady waving in the background, annoys the crap out of me every time. He's gonna lead off with his Gholdengo as I lead off with my Glimmora. And right away, I was not expecting this. Puts me in a tough spot. As you know, as I said, Gholdengo is just not very nice to my team. After being clapped on Showdown by this tactic so many times, I have a feeling he's probably just going to try and scout me out here and just go for a Shadow Ball, because the only thing that could take a Make It Rain, which would be the obvious play, really is Gholdengo. So I'm just going to go for the attacking move. I think that's the smartest thing to do, and I'm absolutely right about that. He's going to go for the Shadow Ball. I take that like a champ. Granted, it's a 2-hit KO, and I get the Earth Power off on him, getting the special defense drop. So we're off to a pretty decent start. Now, I know that he definitely is Scarfed. He doesn't have an Air Balloon. I did not mention that. He doesn't have the Life Orb, and those are really the only things that you'll see, or those three things right there. So I know I can confidently switch into Chien-Pao now. He thinks I might just sack off Glimmora. It's not going to go down that easily, and I bring out my Chien-Pao. Now, this thing's a freaking beast. Like, I thought it was a beast in Showdown, but having it in-game, this thing's a whole new level of intimidating. Like, the roar it makes is actually sick as hell. So I know I'm going to scare this thing out. It's very tempting to go for an Ice Shard, but running damage calcs, it's going to do like 10% at most, and I'm thinking that little sliver that he has left is a little bit more than 10%. It's tempting, very tempting, but I just don't think that's the move. I have a feeling he's going to switch, so I'm just going to go for the Crunch. Thankfully, he does switch out. I have a feeling it might be Great Tusk, but it's actually Rotom, and that's fine by me. That's very fine by me. Rotom is a huge pain, and it does a ton of damage, and I get the special, the defense drop, just the defense drop. I did decide to just put Life Orb on my Chien-Pao, so my attacks are going to do a bit more. Can't complain about that. And now, even if he protects, it's not going to matter, because I know Crunch will be a 2-hit KO regardless. So he doesn't even bother. He sacks off the Rotom. Great start for me. I do a ton of damage to Gholdengo, and I get out one of probably the more annoying Pokemon on his team, because Rotom literally can just protect, Will-O-Wisp, and take a hit, and then Volt Switch out. So I don't want to be dealing with that. I'm happy that I don't have to anymore. I kind of have a feeling that Gholdengo is just going to come out next. I feel like that would make the most sense, just so he could probably go for the Make It Rain now, or he doesn't even have to. He could just Shadow Ball me and outspeed me. But instead, he brings out the King Gambit. A little bit of a surprise there, because I do carry Sacred Sword. Some Chien-Paos don't, but I feel like most definitely do. I'm going to stay in. I really think the only thing that I have to worry about is him either Terastallizing into a Flying type, or him going for Sucker Punch, which I know I can take. And it's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to go for a Sucker Punch. I do hang on with just a tiny sliver left. I go for the Sacred Sword, and that is it for the King Gambit. So taking down some big heavy hitters right away. Well, Rotom not really being a heavy hitter, but something that could definitely cripple me. I'm taking out a lot of big threats, and that's exactly the momentum that I need, especially because he has heavier hitting threats sitting in the back, just brewing. Now he goes out into the Gholdengo, and I felt like that should have been the turn that he probably should have gone for last time. I have to switch here. I only have 3 HP left, but because he doesn't have any entry hazards, I'm going to want to save Chien-Pao. I do still have priority Ice Shard, so that's probably going to be useful for something like Dragapult maybe. So I'll just switch out. I feel like now is the best time to sacrifice Glimmora. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get my hazards, but it is what it is. I don't want to lose Chien-Pao. I'd rather just lose Glimmora. I have a feeling he probably just goes for Shadow Ball. Why make it rain and lower your special attack. It's not really worth it. So yeah, that's exactly what he does. There's no other way he's gonna go for something else. He probably had Trick, but it's not really worth his time, I guess. It's now time to bring in Ceruledge. I think this is the perfect time for it, because I can really target him and put him in a corner. I do have Shadow Sneak, and he's probably aware of it. I know he's definitely battles competitively, you can just see, so he's gonna predict that. And I should have over-predicted that, or out-predicted it, and gone for the Swords Dance. But I also didn't want any funny business and to be hit down in my Sash so early on. So I went for Shadow Sneak anyway. And obviously he brings in his Great Tusk, the absolute unit of OU right now. 33% usage, by the way, which is insane. It's literally the Scarlet and Violet Landorus equivalent, so this thing is scary. And this is where it gets hard. This is the turn that kind of is pivotal in the game. Do I Terrasilize into a bug type predicting the Earthquake and take a resisted hit? Not only will it activate my weak armor and I'll get a speed increase, but I'll also be able to take advantage of that turn to go for a Swords Dance and boost my attack as well. It's kind of like a mental game here, but I decided to just go for it anyway. I'll turn into Ant-Man, why not? Let's just go for it. You know, there's no turning back. This is what it's about. It's about having fun and just sending it. So I'm gonna turn into Ant-Man. Let's just do it. If he goes for the Earthquake, that'll be great. I'll resist the hit, and I'll still have my Focus Sash. The goal is to go for Swords Dance, and surprisingly, I am faster. I do outspeed, even though I'm not Jolly Nature, by the way. I'm Adamant Nature. He's actually going to go for Knockoff, which is very unfortunate because now I lose the Focus Sash. The whole plan was to go for Swords Dance, go for Bitter Blade, because even if he hit me with Earthquake, I would have healed up to full health, and I would have maintained that Focus Sash. So that was the plan all along. Unfortunately, it's no longer looking like that. And with my weak armor ability activated, I am double speed now. So I outspeed everything except Iron Valiant. So now the only thing really to do is go for a Bitter Blade and just hit him. And I get a crit. Now running the damage calcs back, it didn't matter. It did about, I think, 51%, being Adamant Nature at +2. So he crits me back anyway, so it is a little balanced. Regardless, like I said, the crit on the Great Tusk wouldn't have mattered because I would have just 2-hit KO'd him anyway. I had a little bit of chip from the Shadow Sneak earlier, so not a big deal. Now I'm sitting at -2 defense with no Focus Sash. That does suck, but at the same time, I'm still going to be able to take down this Great Tusk with ease, so at least that's a positive. Also, I have Shadow Sneak for the Dragapult, and it just really comes down to the Iron Valiant, and even though I'm not faster with this double speed, I still have, I think, 3 other Pokemon in the back that can just bum rush this Iron Valiant at any time, so I'm not really that worried. He's going to bring in Dragapult here, and you would think that the smart move is to go for Shadow Sneak, but I'm thinking, you know what, sometimes these things carry Sucker Punch, so let me go for the substitute. Well, you see, priority moves always hit before Sucker Punch, so I don't know what my thought process was, but I just wasted, I just completely wasted that turn. And he has Infiltrator, so Dragon Darts is going to hit through the substitute. Wow, that was so dumb. That was so dumb of me. I could have just ended this game so much earlier. Yeah, so now I'm sweating and I didn't have to. I don't know why I did that. But regardless, we live, we learn, we have to learn from our dumb mistakes. The only move really is to go into Iron Valiant now and to scare him with the Moonblast. Now I have a feeling he'll probably just switch out into Gholdengo, sack off the Gholdengo, and we're gonna have to see from there. This, like I said, this could have gone a lot better had I just gone for the Shadow Sneak. I would have saved myself the headache. But it's fine. This is what makes content interesting, I guess, being a fucking idiot. So he's gonna switch out into Gholdengo as I predicted, and the Moonblast will easily take him out, no problem. Does about 35% to a healthy Gholdengo, but because this thing's sitting at like a tiny sliver, it doesn't matter. It's also very important to note that he is not Terrasilize yet either, and he's working with Dragapult and Iron Valiant, both very strong contenders. I'm thinking maybe he could save it for Iron Valiant, but it's very possible that he does it for Dragapult. So we're gonna have to see. And out comes the Tera right now. It's probably gonna be Tera Ghost. I was very nervous it was gonna be Steel, because I did want my Moonblast to do as much damage as possible, to get as much chip as possible. But nope, it's just the standard Tera Ghost on the Dragapult, which is very smart, because now Moonblast is not going to one-hit KO. It does a lot of damage. Unfortunately, it's just not going to be it for me. Tera Blast is going to come through. That's probably a one-hit KO. I'm thinking this thing is choice banded. I don't really work with Dragapults too much. I like using Dragapult. It's just not my go-to. But I'm pretty sure it's choice banded. Looking at my team, I honestly feel like I'm done for. But after running some calcs, I actually can live a Tera Blast with my Baxcalibur. I can. So I decide to switch out here, and I go for Icicle Spear. In case he did switch, if I did go for Dragon Dance, it's pointless because Iron Valiant still outspeeds, whether it's Booster Energy or Scarf, which is the same thing. At that point, it still outspeeds, which is just absolutely ridiculous. So I go for the Icicle Spear. I think that's my safest bet. I'm praying for a crit on one of them and for 5 hits. I do get 5 hits, but no crit. So this thing survives with a tiny, tiny sliver left, and there's no point in switching. I have to just leave Baxcalibur in for Death Fodder at this point. Unfortunately, it's going to come down to that. Now, the only path to victory is sacking off this Baxcalibur, and because I don't see any booster energy, like I said, I feel like this thing is scarfed with Specs, truthfully, unless it's some other item that I'm unaware of. Maybe it's an expert belt. I can bring in Gholdengo, take the Moonblast if he truly is locked in, KO with the Shadow Ball, and then once Dragapult KOs my Gholdengo, I can bring in Chien-Pao and KO with Ice Shards. So, hoping for no funny business, he goes for Moonblast, suggesting that he was locked into it, and that's a wrap, because sometimes Iron Valiants can carry Shadow Ball. I go for my own Shadow Ball, take care of the Iron Valiant, and like I said, it is up to everything just working out perfectly. This Ice Shard has to kill Dragapult. It's no longer going to be super effective, so it has to kill. Out comes Dragapult now. It's the moment of truth. I'm going to go for my Shadow Ball. He does go for Sucker Punch. I wasn't crazy. It just should have still gone for Shadow Sneak, though. I'm so bitter about that. It's moment of truth time. Chien-Pao has 3 HP left, so the Life Orb is going to take it down. This literally, either we're both going to go down or I'm going to fall short here. I'm going to go for Ice Shard. Like I said, priority moves outspeed the Sucker Punch, and down goes Dragapult. I win literally by the skin of my teeth. This was such a fun and intense battle. I literally sweated out, but the accomplishment that I felt after and the rush that I had, unparalleled. This is what Pokemon battling is about. I had such a fun time. My opponent played so well, Dylan. Good game. Holy crap. Guys, if you like this battle, please like the video, subscribe to my channel. I do plan on posting more Scarlet and Violet content. And if you want to battle me, just you can follow me on Discord or on Twitter. I will leave those links below. And I will see you all on the next one.